Today, I'm going to change your life. I'm going to make your presentation so powerful and so interesting to listen to that nobody will look at their phones anymore. And I have been a public speaker for 10 years now. I have tried these methods, they work like magic. So let's get into this. I'm your coach, Sumit Tripathi, and today we will understand the power of hooks. The first thing I want you to look at over here on my screen is the purple elephant. Now, I know it looks so cute, but do you know what the purple elephant theory is? If there was a herd of elephants, let's say hundreds of elephants were walking past you, and if one of them was purple, your attention would immediately go to that purple elephant. And that is exactly what we have to do with our speeches and presentations. If 100 people had the same topic, I want you to understand how 99% of speakers would start their presentation. And once you understand that, all you have to do is break that pattern. Because our brain is a pattern detection machine. And the moment it sees that, oh, look, everybody's starting their presentation this way, it's a pattern, let me not pay attention. Then the brain starts to zone out and drift away. So the moment you break the pattern, the moment you interrupt it with your own purple elephant, that is when people are listening and looking at you. Now we talked about the 99 speakers with the same topic. Most of them would start their presentations like this. Good morning, and then today I'm going to talk about XYZ. Suppose they're talking about environmental pollution. Most people will be like, good morning, today I'm going to talk about environmental pollution. Boom, lost attention. Hi, I'm Sumit. I'm going to talk about global warming. Gone, attention dead. And when you start your presentations or speeches with these sort of beginnings, then it really drastically affects the audience attention span. Right now, the attention span of an average audience member is just 8 seconds. That's all you have. And you absolutely cannot waste it by starting your presentations this way. So what are alternatives, you might ask? The alternatives to starting your presentations, your pitches, all of that are hooks. And the way you can use them are by dividing them into 4 types. I believe there are 4 types of interesting hooks that you can try. First is the question hook, the controversial statement hook, the engagement hook, and the value gap hook. So the question hook asks the audience an important question. Now, this question cannot be something the audience can answer in a single word. If I say, who over here wants to be rich? I do. That is a bad question. If I ask you, each one of you over here probably wants to be rich, but why are you chasing money? What is your reason for it? That is when the audience gets to think about it. That is when they are emotionally involved and invested in your presentation. So never ask these surface level questions. Rather, I want you to go deeper with it, ask the deeper questions, or if you are asking a yes or no question, then the best thing you can do is follow it up with a why. Why do you want to do XYZ? And give the audience the chance to answer. It's not a rhetorical question that you just ask it and move on. No, pick a few people from the audience, hear their opinions about things. Because remember, you are just a messenger on stage. The real hero is the audience. And if you make the audience feel like a hero instead of a one-sided conversation, that is when the magic happens. So that is the first kind of hook, which is your question hook. The second kind is controversial statements. Usually, no matter whatever field of expertise you're talking on, there are common belief systems. Like if I was talking about fitness, then a common belief is that sugar is going to make me fat. Controversial statement hook would be that what if I told you that sugar is not the reason for your weight gain? Then I have to, of course, prove the statement. I can't just say anything without proving it. So the best way to come up with controversial statement hooks is write down all the common beliefs in your industry, then write down the ones you don't agree with, and also write down the opposites of those beliefs and try to prove them. Another example can be that most people say electrical cars are really good for the environment, but I think that is not true. So over here, I'm flipping the common belief of the public. And that is something that really spikes that curiosity in people. Next, we have the engagement hook. Engagement hooks are slightly tougher to do, but they work like a charm. Once you master it, your audience is going to thank you. The way you can do this is take either another person, an object around you, or different thoughts and play around with it. Ask the audience to perform certain tasks to reveal the topic. I think it's best explained with an example. Let's say I was talking about social media usage. I would say, can everyone just raise your phones here quickly? Yeah. Can you open Instagram? While you open Instagram, could you all just read me your screen time on Instagram? And people say different things. And then I say, that is the negative side effect of social media. This is how I introduce the topic swiftly. This is very important. And of course, the last kind of hook is the value gap hook. Over here, you make a promise to your audience and tell them that by the end of the presentation, this promise will be delivered upon. Let's say I was talking about investing to a bunch of 20-year-olds who have never invested in their life. I would say that by the end of this presentation, each and every one of you over here would have invested your first 500 rupees. Does that sound cool? Let's get into it. Now you already have their core problem, which is not being able to get started. And you're saying that by the end of the presentation, this problem will be solved. Whenever it comes to any presentation, this is the structure I absolutely adore, which is your hook, then it brings you to the story, the problem, and call to action. And you will notice these arrows. Some of them are pointing upward. It's because of the curiosity plus tension you create. First, with the hook, you create some amount of attention, some amount of curiosity. Then you have to bring that level up with your story. This story has to be something that hits their problem really hard. And this has to be in a very relatable way. If I start talking about frogs and princesses in my story, nobody will relate to it. The problem would go for a toss. So the story should tease the problem and again emotionally elevate the audience. And finally, there is the payoff where I actually talk about the problem the audience is facing, how to solve that problem. And we end with a call to action, which is an action step the audience can take today to solve their problem. This can be something very simple. Let's say I was conducting a session on improving vocabulary. I would say, today, all of you just go home, grab a newspaper, find one word that you have never heard of, and understand its meaning. It becomes a simple call to action. And lastly, I want to really stress on this. Public speaking is not a one-sided affair. You have to involve the audience as much as possible. Over here, this is you, this is the audience. But the higher weightage has to be given to the audience rather than you. The spotlight should never be on you. Why? Because people don't remember what you say, they remember how you make them feel. And that is very, very true. I may forget so many things, but I will never forget how a person made me feel. Did they make me the star of the show? If they did, then it's wonderful. The audience will love you for that. So be aware of this. I follow a simple 30-70 rule where 70% of my presentation is all about engaging with the audience as much as possible, whether it's through questions, activities, etc. And 30% is information and value that they can actually use in their life. Because people aren't going to remember a lot of information because of this high consumption era where we just consume, and our information retention has gone down. It has gone down by a lot. That's why when you have presentations with 20, 30, 40 slides, your brain has automatically checked out and you are just staring at the computer or at the speaker, completely blindsided. So I recommend always having maximum of 10 to 12 slides in your presentations, making sure your audience is the hero, using hooks and stories. I hope this video helped. If you want to get coached by me and you want to speak with authority, you want to build that charisma and confidence that I know you have, then book a call with me and I would love to help you out.